just out of curiosity for you, you're in that world. You're with everybody. Like you've had conversations with all the guys that we read about and we speak about. Who has the biggest, like if they make a phone call, they have the most influence? Let me unpack. Is it the folks at Big Pharma who have the biggest lobbyists? Is it the folks with military industrial complex? Is it the folks who control Hollywood, radio, news, media? Is it the folks who are with the intelligence organization, CIA, that really can make? Is it the DOJ? Is it the folks of the social media companies? Who has the biggest stick when they call and they say, that guy's on line one, we got to make sure we deliver on the promise that guy's asking for? Who in the establishment has the biggest power?
It's interesting. You might think in the old days that was the case, but just like that disruption has happened in business, disruption has happened in politics. You don't need that anymore. You don't raise your most money from some PAC. That's the least amount that you ever get. With the ability to raise money online today, all you need to do is act crazy and go put an email out and you'll raise. Not that you'll achieve anything, not that you'll be able to accomplish anything, but I believe people respect, no matter where you come from and what industry, if you're a straight shooter, that you've had discussions before and people find you not just to be honest, but you're knowledgeable. To me, the greatest power in politics is knowledge.
You think so?
I know so.
I think it's leverage. I think
okay, explain to me, what leverage does some pharmaceutical company have when they give you a PAC that they can give you $5,000?
What leverage?
Yeah.
How? Okay, so
when you disrupted it, you don't have that great leverage.
I get that,
and the parties have been broken down where they don't have great leverage because McCain-Feingold now.
So
media companies have leverage. You have influence. Okay. Because the other thing that's happened now is we have fewer competitive districts, okay? So when Republicans won the majority in 2010, we beat 63 Democrats. Mm-hmm. There's not even 63 competitive seats. There's like 35. So now most seats are safe, right? So if something happens, Democrats are always going to end up with like 198 or 200 seats. Republicans are going to end up about 207. So really, then structure dictates behavior. You find this in business, you find this in politics. So most members are going to be safe in their seats. So they don't really care about a general election. They only care about a primary. So whether you're a Democrat, it's going to be more in the progressive world. If you're a Republican, more in the conservative world, and who are the influencers. If you ask me from a Republican's point, who has the greatest influence is going to be Trump. Trump has never been so powerful in primaries as he was this election cycle. There were only 3 incumbents to lose. I mean, you'd probably lose more in Russia today, but only 3 incumbents lost. One had to run against another incumbent, so one was going to lose.
You're saying midterms?
Yes, in their primaries. Bob Good lost in Virginia, and 2 Democrats lost, but that was APAC that actually got in and spent good money, and that was influencing in the Democratic.
Why do you think Thomas Massey has such a big problem with APAC when he says everybody's got an APAC guy? I think he said that I don't know who he was being interviewed by. I think it was Tucker or something like that. He says everyone's got a. I'm
a big fan of.
Is this the one?
I'm a big fan of Thomas Massey. I'm a big fan of APAC. I was just talking to Thomas today.
Play this clip. Let's see what he says here.
Everybody but me has an APAC person.
What's that mean, an APAC person?
It's like your babysitter, your APAC babysitter, who is always talking to you for APAC. They're probably a constituent in your district, but they are firmly embedded in APAC. And
every member has something like this?
That's how it works on the Republican side. And when they come to DC, you go have lunch with them. And they've got your cell number, and you have conversations with them.
That's absolutely crazy.
I've had 4 members of Congress say, I'll talk to my APAC person. And it's literally what we call them, my APAC guy.
I'll talk to what's his issue with APAC?
Oh, Thomas is a libertarian. He's a solid, true believer. And Thomas will be at times when we do a resolution, something in the Middle East, and he'll be voting no, and he'll be one of 2 people, right? And so I think what you have found is APAC has a difference of opinion on his belief when it comes to Israel and others. Thomas is solid. I try to tell APAC, don't harass him, and he fixes it. But Thomas, the man went to MIT. He's a brilliant person. he has a difference of opinion than some of us, but he votes the way he votes, and lots of times it's a no when everybody 400 votes are voting yes.
To be fair, APAC's the one that caused Bowman to lose, and who else lost because of APAC? It was Cory Bush that lost because of APAC,
in Missouri.
right? Those two that took place, yeah.
Yeah.
So going back, if you want to go back to the point that you were making until you said APAC, I thought about Massey. We were talking about. What story were we talking about, Rob, right before we went to that? I know I remember you were going to a point you were going to make.
Was it
about,
MIT, quantum?
No, not MIT. It was prior to that. We were talking about, the establishment. And you said, what money does a person have if they're going to give $5,000 to a super PAC or something like that, right?
Well,
like,
you don't
what
need
can
a
they
super
do?
PAC. Okay, let's think about money. Money in politics is not equal. And let me just be 100% honest. I raised the most money of anyone that's ever in Congress and others. The most powerful money is the least amount. It's the money you give directly to a candidate, okay? The most you can give to a...
Powerful money is the least amount.
And let me explain
$50 donations,
no,
$10?
No. Well, those are powerful because you raise money online,
right.
$50, and especially if it comes from your district. Okay, so the least amount you can give, because it's limited, is $3,300 to a member in primary or general. Mm-hmm. To a super PAC unlimited, to a NRCC or a Democratic Party, I think it's like $35,000 or something. Why is that $3,300 more powerful? Because the member or the candidate could reserve TV time at a lower rate than a super PAC. Okay, so if you're a candidate and say you've got $1 million and you're going to go get your message out on TV. I'm just going to give you rude numbers. You get to buy it at the lowest rate they've ever offered it. So maybe you're buying it $1. Mm-hmm. Then you look, this super PAC's going to come in with $5 million. But they may be paying $15 while you're paying $1. It goes further. So I've always told people, where do you want to, if your money wants to go somewhere, make the relationship directly to the candidate, max out to them. I think that's more powerful than writing the bigger checks.
So you don't think leverage is the part? Because
I don't think they have as much leverage as they did in the past because disruption. A lot of members don't get any PAC money and they raise it online.
So let's show this here. This is total spending of presidential candidates and major political parties in the U.S. from 84 till 2024, right? If you can zoom in a little bit, blue is Dems, red is Republican, right? If you go from 1980, go all the way to the top, Rob. So 84, not a lot, 77, 150 million. Then Republicans do more. Obviously, that's Reagan, 191, 83. Then 92, 155 Dems, 115. Then Republicans, 96, 304, 128. Republicans, 2000, which I think that's Bush, 385, 176. Then Dems, 04, 517, 365. Then Obama, 1.1 billion to 600.
Changed.
Then Obama, 2, 774, 626, right? Then you got Hillary Clinton and Trump there. Trump 668, Hillary 883. Biden, the Republicans go to 828. Look at that. Yes. Holy moly. Biden needed $3.1 billion to become president. And now we're at 915, 352, right? So
a couple things you should have in here at Asterisk. In that time frame, a couple Supreme Court and some law changes.
Please unpack that. Okay. Yes.
McCain-Feingold happened, and I won't know the exact year. That changed because before parties had a lot of control. So you could give to a Republican Party or not, and you could give corporate money. You can't give any corporate money in federal offices here, okay? Some of this money, too, I don't know if they're actually collecting. You have what is called a C4 and a super PAC. A C4 can't be, you could keep the disclosure, but you can't 100% use it in campaign. You could use it in issue advocacy, right? You could say somebody's doing wrong, call somebody. In the straight super PAC.
Not to an individual. I can't give to an individual. I can give to an issue. The one you just explained.
Yeah, if I got a C, say somebody has a C4 and somebody has a super PAC. The C4, 100% of the money can't be used to go to Trump. You could use issue advocacy, and they have some formula. Get about 40%. Okay. Straight money. You got Bloomberg in here one year. He gave $100 million. I
remember that.
Right before he ran for president, and he bragged, "I won the Congress."
I remember that.
Money. You can dump money on these close races and make a difference. These super PAC comes in late.
Sure.
They could have influence. You can't work with the candidates about it, and each party has them. But outside groups have them too. Create their own. And this is another Supreme Court decision that was made that you can't limit that. So both sides do it. Democrats, you've noticed, have done better. They've got the unions do a great deal amount of money. And then when you watched last time, you find out later something like Zuckerberg did $400 million. It wasn't really calculated in here, but what was he doing? When I think about this, your question more, Google has a great deal of influence, right? If I Google Trump's name in there, but everything comes up about Harris, how much influence do you have there? What do you see? Or if I want to go in and how can I vote or what can I know? And they only put bad things up about you. That's power. And 90% of all searches go through Google. And most people drop off after the first page. So if you own the first page.
That's all that matters.
Yeah. And then do this. Because we do more online, Act Blue is tremendous, right? So if Act Blue, where people can just give a candidate, people come in and say, okay, I want to pick 10 candidates, and I put somebody that doesn't even have a chance, and all of a sudden they have $1 million, they're making it more competitive. It's like a game of chess. You want to be on offense. You want to be putting more games in play. I've been fortunate. When I became leader, Pelosi became speaker. When I became speaker, we had a 5-seat majority. We're both from California. Do you know in those 2 election cycles how many more Republican seats I won in California?
How many?
5. She lost her majority in California. I won in Oregon. I won in Arizona. I won 5 more in New York. So when Biden won and he had 82 million votes, and everybody who projects, the Cook report and all that projects that we would lose 15 seats, do you know how many Republican incumbents lost when Biden won the presidency? 0. It was the first time since 1994. And think about that. In 1994 was a Republican wave, but we didn't lose 1. We beat 15 Democrats.
Okay, so let me ask you this: while you're going this, and you're saying leverage doesn't matter, we're coming up to
No, I say leverage matters, but I don't believe it leverage. The way you pose that question, that leverage is the same way as you think.
I don't. Okay, again, it's outsider opinion.
Yes.
You're on the inside, so please take mine as I'm not on the inside to know. I'm just watching from the outside as a guy that's a strategist, and we've done deals with other companies, but it's different when you're inside politically. This is the USA gear, limited edition for the rest of the year. If you love America, sport this USA gear. On the side, it says Future Looks Bright. On the back, it says Valuetainment. On the side, it's got the American flag. We got the shirts. We got the flip-flops. These are the only flip-flops I wear when I'm at the house and walking the dogs. It feels amazing with the gel in it. So if you love America, if you believe the future looks bright, if you love Valuetainment, click on the link above or below. Go wear some of the gear and tag us because we share the pictures on the podcast all the time. So go to vtmerch.com and place your order.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.